Yo, what up gamers, I'm Report Arc, and today we're going to be doing a VOD review of one of Uzi's games. Uzi, if you don't know him, is largely considered probably the best ADC in the world, or at least he was when he was actually playing. Currently he's officially retired, but I'm happy to say he will be returning to pro play this year, I believe as part of BLG Gaming. So we're starting off with an invade. Going to be jumping in aggressively with the W, which is really good on Tristana, by the way. Invading on Tristana is so good because he's got that W. It's nice saving that W, just using it for damage onto the Ezreal, using it for the slow as well once the exhaust slow runs out. So as you can see here, he's already used the jump, like... okay, literally, we're on like 5 jumps already. And if he kills Yone here, that could potentially be 6. Alright, so this is going to be 4 kills for Uzi's team. With Uzi picking up, unfortunately not a single kill, just 4 assists, but... gonna be a lot of gold for the blue team. Yeah, blue team here. So, as you can see, he's using Hail of Blades. He's not showing the runes anymore, but it was earlier. He was using Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, or Eyeball Collector, or whatever, and Ravenous Hunter on the Domination side, which is pretty standard for Tristana. Definitely the runes you want to use. You don't want to change anything there. For Precision, he's using Presence of Mind and Alacrity. You can't. That's a little bit situational, a little bit of personal preference. You can use Alacrity or you can use Bloodline. Depends what you want. Like the quicker impact of Alacrity, which, you know, it just stacks up faster and gives you a little bit of a damage increase in the early to mid game, and that's really nice. Or you can go for the Bloodline, which takes ages to stack, but once you've completed it, it's 9% lifesteal, which is super good. Especially after all the Ravenous Hunter nerfs, it's just not quite as good as your sole source of healing. But Uzi will be going for the Alacrity. I don't know about the Presence of Mind. I know I've seen some Tristana players use it, but I don't like it. I think on Tristana it's very important to have a rune in that slot that gives you HP, or like a shield, which functions the same as HP, because your HP is a really big limiter on Tristana. You have to use it as a resource constantly. You know, whether you can jump in and get a kill or not just depends on how healthy you are, or how healthy you will be after the kill. You know, that determines whether you will die or live after getting the kill. But you know, some people swear by it, the Presence of Mind, so you can try that out if you want. Anyway, now we can actually focus on the gameplay. So we're going to be pushing into red team here. See if Uzi decides to shove this in, or if he's just going to... yeah, it looks like he's just going to focus on pressuring. I wonder though if he does want to crash this wave before the next wave arrives, or if he's just going to start shoving on the next wave. Because on Tristana it is unavoidable that you will... you have to shove to some extent, whether you want to or not. Ooh, going for an aggressive jump there. Yeah, so as you can see, because the Tristana wave clear is, you know, pretty unavoidable, this wave sort of ends up like awkwardly half crashed, where some of the melees run under the turret and the rest of it doesn't. So right now he's at this really risky spot where potentially he could get ganked. I can't actually see the maps, I can't see the vision, I can't see if they've seen the jungler anywhere. So maybe he just knows that he wasn't gonna get ganked anyway. But this spot, it's fine to be here. Like if you wanted to pressure. Okay, Braum walking up there, so it's really obvious they're getting ganked. Gonna be getting a TP from Volibear there. Wow, okay, and because nobody has any flashes from the level 1 invade, nobody's gonna be able to do anything here. Was he just gonna jump out here to drop the aggro? Okay. Just gonna back here, I guess. Or actually, no, maybe going for the dive. I think Volibear's pinging that. Ooh, is he gonna be dead there? Okay, no, he's fine. Perfect. Yeah, I sincerely doubt he's gonna go for this next wave. He's just gonna back here. Ezreal should be arriving back at the lane soon. We're currently sitting on 1600 gold, which is, you know, obviously a really healthy amount. He's gonna be really happy about that. Gonna grab the Noon Quiver and the boots. Pretty typical. There's not much you could buy after the Noon Quiver except just boots, unless you want to go dagger, but that's only going to build into something later on once you go into berserkers. It's an option for sure, but I think after you have all the AD and attack speed of Noon Quiver, I think most people just decide, you know, I got plenty of damage, I'm just going to go boots here. Plenty of last hitting power too, that's important as well. I'd be a lot more likely to go dagger over boots if I only had, like, say, a longsword in my inventory. So we'll see how he tries to deal with the lost hitting under the turret. There's Tristana. So as you can see, he gives up like 1 or 2 CS before it's even time to lost hit them, because he knows that if he just ignores it and focuses on the rest of it, he can actually set it up so he can just kill the entire backline with his bomb. And so by missing that 1 CS, he's going to end up getting even more by making sure that he doesn't miss any of the backline. Okay, gonna be Lee Sin setting up a free kill for Uzi there. So now definitely gonna be shoving in this wave. No point delaying this. You just want to crash this in. Make his roll miss as much from as possible. Then, I mean, I can't see this down to the map. Could be he wants to go for platings. Could be they want to go for Drake. Okay, we see Elise is ganking top because she just got volley burst. So I'm assuming his jungle and support are currently the Drake. They don't need his help for that, so he's just gonna go for solo platings here. It's the obvious choice. Doesn't matter that Braum is trying to force him off here. He can just turn onto the Braum and deal some damage. He already got the plating anyway, and so by turning onto Braum, he obviously doesn't need to just try to run away. He just needs to turn onto Braum. He's not gonna take free damage. He's just gonna punish Braum for Braum trying to punish him. So currently he's pinging that Braum doesn't have the shield, so this is a really good time to dive. Unfortunately, Braum does turn out to have the shield, but the dive works out just the same anyway. I'm gonna flash forwards for the Ezreal kill there. I'm wondering what server he's playing on here. You know, I have done a lot of Korean lessons on Duolingo, so you would think that I would know for a fact whether this is Chinese or Korean. I'm pretty sure it is Korean, alright? I'm pretty sure. But the writing is really small, so I can't be 100%. No, I'm pretty sure it's Korean. Yeah, he's playing on the Korean server. That's why he's typing in English there. Because he probably doesn't speak Korean, so he needs to use an intermediary language. And we're going to be grabbing the pickaxe and the Berserker's Greaves. Pretty typical. If you can choose between Crit Cloak or Berserker's Greaves on Tristana, I think 99% of Tristana players would always just go for the Berserker's Greaves. The attack speed is obviously really helpful on Tristana for stacking your bomb faster. Crit is nice, you know, it gives you some extra burst. But I would not... usually I would expect it to not have as big an impact in lane as Berserker's Greaves. The attack speed is also really helpful for last hitting too, since it'll help you get the CS that you would mess up a lot faster. Is gonna choose to cheese Ezreal here instead of going to help in that fight, because no guarantee that he actually gets to help out in the fight there, and you could see Ezreal's pathing meant that he was seemingly walking towards Uzi, so big mistake from Ezreal there. Looks like Ezreal's team also died anyway, so yeah, it was definitely not needed there. Yeah, so just gonna shove in the wave instantly. Now gonna farm out next wave. I didn't catch whether he was like saving his E for the next wave there before using it on the turret, or if it was just lucky timing. But usually what you want to do on Tristana is if there's a wave approaching and you want to use your E on the turret, don't use your E right away. Just wait a few seconds for the wave to arrive, for the entire wave to be in your E range. Then use your E, because almost every time you're not going to be able to... Hang on, let's watch this fight. Okay, just trying to put out as much damage as he can safely. I'm gonna get ganked by Elise here though. Tries to ult her away. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit unfortunate there. Trying to turn on to Braum, get some damage off. Not gonna be able to. Yeah, but so in regards to the farming of the turret thing, basically if you only have one wave on the turret, you are not going to get multiple E casts off anyway. You are only going to be able to use the E on the turret for the second time once the second wave has arrived. So for that first wave, getting that E as early as possible, there's no advantage to it. You may as well just wait for the wave to arrive to be entirely in the range of the turret explosion before you use your E. So like sometimes, even as a somebody who's played like easily 1,000 Tristana games, I still sometimes like play with my brain off. I just don't do it. I have a wave approaching and I use my E early, and then I realize, oh shit, wait, now I'm gonna have to farm this wave slower than I could for no reason. You know, it's something you gotta watch out for. You've always got to wait for the proper timing if you're less-hitting on the turret. The exception, or sorry, if you're pushing the turret. The exception is if you have like multiple waves under the turret, crashed under the turret, and it takes the turret so long to kill those minions that you actually do get multiple E costs within a single wave. That definitely happens sometimes if you have multiple waves crashed. And in that case, you do want to use like E as fast as possible so you can get your second cost as fast as possible as well. You gotta be aware of it. Like, when is the time to go for double E costs, and when is the time to just wait for the wave so you can wave clear as fast as you can. Because it's a pretty big advantage, honestly, to not have to like clear the minions with your auto attacks much. If you can just focus directly on the turret almost the entire time, only use like 3 autos to clear an entire wave, because most of it already died to your E. You're saving a lot of time, which you can just spend hitting the turret. Okay, so I'm gonna be rotating over to mid here after he gets that ball in turret. Just gonna be able to pick up some free kills here. Awesome. So, oh god, I wish I could see the map. But presumably he's going top here because there's still a turret, I guess. Either that or there's just nobody on top. Not like nobody on his team going top to catch that wave, so he's gonna catch it. Okay, so there is no turret there, so it's just purely about the farm. Presumably somebody was already headed mid and there was a wave crashing on top. Yeah, this wave is a little bit pushed up as you can see, so headed top for that. Caught a Trinamir kill on the way. Trinamir making the mistake of thinking he could actually kill Pyke. Rookie mistake. So just gonna shove this all the way in. Let's see how far. Nope, gonna choose to rotate for the fight now. Sometimes you just want to go for the turret, but this fight is like really close to Uzi, so you may as well move. Waiting for his time is the right time to go in here. Okay, gonna flash so he gets a good angle. Then he can jump back in. Gets multiple kills, gets taken down in the end. But that was smart. He basically like W'd in too deep, but then basically baited them by then flashing basically into a better position. So he wasn't suddenly as at risk as he initially seemed, and so they basically wasted a lot of their time like completely changing their game plan to punish Uzi, and suddenly he's not so easily punished. So gonna be grabbing the Phantom Dancer all in one go. And grab that real quick since he's really fed. Gets it in one back. Obviously that's really good on Tristana. It's pretty much probably the most popular item on Tristana, I believe. You can also do Stormer as a second item. If you're using Kraken Slayer, then honestly I would say that maybe they're both about even. Maybe personal preference, what you use. Personally, I prefer Stormers usually, but especially because I tend to go like Fire Cannon, 3rd or 4th item a lot, and that works really well with Stormers there, not so much with Phantom Dancer. Eating every skill shot here. Okay, waiting for the red buff to run out. Doesn't quite time it right, but it's fine. Still manages to not take any turret shots and get the turret. So farming that mid wave. Now let's see what he does here. Maybe choosing to rotate bot. Is there a wave crashing in? Is he just gonna back? Maybe just wait, hovering here because there's nothing to do, just waiting for the next wave to come in. Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. Yep. Just waiting around. Trying to hover around with his team, getting some vision down, helping them make sure that they don't get caught while they go for vision. Confident enough that there's no enemies around here that he can just go for this. Also just gonna confidently blast on in, check the wolf camp. If you have control over the map, as you can see, Volibear's got that wave shoved in. They have enough vision probably that they knew that there was nobody in the enemy jungle, so you can check the wolves. If they're up, and if they're up, then you can just steal that. Yeah, just gonna jump in on Ezreal there, one-shot him. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but he actually... The way he comboed that was he got basically... Whew, that was a clean dodge. He got basically full stacks on his E except for one. There was one stack missing. And he could have procced that with an auto attack, or he could have procced that with ult. But he does it in a way, he does it with ult, but he does that in a way where while the ultimate is the like hit that procs the last bomb proc, after using ult he can still get one last hit off, and that doesn't increase the bomb damage, but it's a combo you can do where you get the max bomb damage plus one extra auto, rather than just getting exactly the amount of autos to proc the bomb and no extra autos. Because sometimes you need your entire bomb damage, but you also need one more auto. So in that case, you want to leave your ultimate to be like the last thing that procs your bomb, and then you get one more auto as they're flying away. If you hadn't done that, Ezreal would not have probably died there. Okay, gonna be grabbing the Storm Razor here just purely because you can already afford the Storm Razor. That's actually something that's really underrated. It really depends on what ADC you're playing. Like if you're playing an ADC who just doesn't really like Storm Razor too much, or just really needs the Infinity Edge, then okay, go ahead, don't do that. But Tristana, for example, as I said, it's really good on her. Usually people just use it as an alternative to Phantom Dancer, but it is really good in a build even with a Phantom Dancer. Just usually you would want to prioritize Infinity Edge before it, but if you just happen to back with the exact amount of gold for Storm Razor, but not able to get Infinity Edge, this is better. This is just straight up better to just go for Storm Razor instead of saving up. This is a more efficient use of your gold. Because Storm Razor is so amazing for Tristana anyway, and the main reason for that is obviously it gives you quite a bit of burst during those like short rotations where you're not getting too many crits or like too much DPS for the superior stats of Infinity Edge to come out ahead in the long run. And also it gives you a slow, which is super useful for stacking your bomb against the target. Okay, playing a little bit risky with the Tryndamere there, but knows Tryndamere doesn't have the damage to take him down. And is able to grab the bomb as well. Yeah, if you're this kind of build, it's very situational. You don't go into a game directly planning to go Storm as a third, right? This is just something you do when it happens, you know? Able to grab the kill on Ezreal there. Thanks. That Storm is a slow, I believe. Super useful. Yeah, other ADCs, for example, like Caitlyn. Usually you would definitely want Storm Razor second on Caitlyn. But if for whatever reason you're not doing that, and third item, you just don't quite have that gold for Infinity Edge, but you can grab Storm Razor. Well, Storm Razor is really good on Caitlyn too. So. Another champion you can do that on. Oof, so clean. Look at that. Just look at that really intentional flash angle. Probably not the angle I would have gone for, probably not the angle you would have gone for. But it's very intentional. Yeah, if you want to like look back at the replay, I won't do it now because I don't want to like interfere with the viewing experience. But you know, think about why you did that, why exactly you did that, and try to incorporate that into your own gameplay. Because like most players would not do that, but it was very deliberate. Currently sitting at 17, 4, and 10. Also sitting on about 9 sets per minute, so super action-packed game. He's actually sitting at 28 kill participation at 18 minutes, and still managing to keep up his farm like super high. Actually had a 70 CS lead over Ezreal too, so that was crazy. Yep, that was my analysis of Uzi's gameplay. Mainly I was just really focused on like Tristana specific aspects. So if you guys wanted to learn to play Tristana, I hope this helped a lot. Anyway, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this in the future. Feel free to leave a comment for the algorithm. For me, it helps me a lot. I also like reading your comments. Leave me any feedback. Whether it's good or bad, I love to read it all. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, gamers.